We got some breaking news, Mets fans. If you haven't heard already by now, the New York Mets have acquired elite. And when I say elite, I mean elite. May not be the craziest of household names, but Tylor Rogers, the submariner from the San Francisco Giants. And I know we're going to get to the package going back to the Giants in just one moment, but let me tell you what he brings to this team. Something the New York Mets don't have outside of Edwin Díaz. 50 innings pitched. 50. That's a lot this year. 50 innings pitched, 1.80 ERA. The whip is 0.86, which means he gives up well less than one walk or one hit or per innings, excuse me. He is elite. And it's not just a one-hit wonder. The guy's been in the league forever. His career ERA is a 2.79, and his career whip is a 1.099. Something that he's going to provide this pen that nobody else can say. He doesn't walk hitters. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he's not the John Duran from the Twins. No. But from what I'm hearing is he's going to take two top 100 level prospects. And before we get to the return, I just want to tell you guys a little bit more about this guy. He is the ultimate high leverage reliever. Last year with the Giants, 77 games, 70 in the third innings, 2.82 ERA. This year, what's funny, he has a little bit of a reverse split here. Righties are hitting around 220, and lefties are hitting less. It's crazy. I know a lot of Mets fans over on X right now, they're completely melting down, but I'm going to explain to you guys my reasoning as to why this trade makes so much sense for the New York Mets. And then I'm going to get to Anthony DiComo, who spoke to sources around the league, who gave him a little bit more of an insight, and maybe it'll help you guys understand more before you break it down. But before I get into it, if you're enjoying our content, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Help us grow this channel to 10,000 subscribers. And I want to say a special shout out to you guys who listen in to us. Once we get to 10,000, I'll be giving away one of these New York Mets jerseys to one of our lucky subscribers. But with that said, I want to get to the return. Jose Butto, Blade Tidwell, and Drew Gilbert. Yes, Jose Butto hasn't worked out for us lately. Supposedly, the Giants are considering stretching him back out to a starter. 5 years of control. So, yeah, is there upside there? Sure. But another guy in the Mets pen that could not throw strikes. I'm not going to cry over Jose Butto. I want a World Series this year. It's not about next year. It's not about the year after that. And one thing I will tell you is, with this trade, David Stearns was not irresponsible. I know a lot of people are hung up on Tidwell and Gilbert, and I'm going to get to that right now. MLB just released the new top 100 prospect list, and in the New York Mets farm system, Blade Tidwell came in at number 10. Now, if you talk to scouts around the league, which I have, most of them project him down the line to be a relief pitcher. He has struggled throwing strikes. He hasn't been great since coming up those couple of times when he's come up through our system. And I want to reiterate, I'm not saying in 2 years from now, we might not look at the Giants and he's closing for them being dominant, but it's not about 2 or 3 years from now. It's about this year. Now to Drew Gilbert. Drew Gilbert, somebody who we've spoken about a ton on this channel, has been lighting it the hell up in AAA. No one can deny that. Just under 1,000 OPS over the last 30 days, but he's a little bit older. But here's where David Stearns is the master class man. Think to yourselves first before we overreact, which everybody does, including myself. I'm a fan just like you guys. We have sources, yeah, but I'm still a fan like you guys. I'm going to react that way. When you're looking at this New York Mets team, Brandon Nimmo has 6 years left on that contract? Juan Soto's got 14 years left on his deal. They're not going anywhere. The corners are set. So when we look at this team, you look at the center field position, it really comes down to 3 players. This is not Zach Scott. This is not a Javier Baez for a Pete Crow Armstrong deal. Drew Gilbert's already up there in age. He's 24, I believe, already. Not some spring chicken like P. Crow Armstrong, 20 years old, first round pick, that kind of thing. But I will say this, David, and we talked about it on the show. And let me know if you guys agree with me. Let me know down in the comments. But David Stearns had one job this year. Establish who is your top prospects who you believe are going to turn into studs and who's not going to. For the most part in AAA, Gilbert has not been good this year. It just is what it is. Over the last month, he's been great. But over the most part of the season, he has not been great. You know who's been great all year? Guys like Jet Williams and Carson Bench. You have three guys there vying for that center field position. One of those three guys is going to be the future center fielder, and maybe one of them plays a little left, a little right, and spells Nimmo and Soto as they get older. But you had to make a decision. We've been talking about this for forever. You got to make a decision on Vientos, Beatty, and Mauricio. It's the same thing with these prospects. And that is why the Mets did not bring Drew Gilbert up. Regardless of Met fans screaming for the last month to bring this kid up, there's a reason why they didn't. And it's for reasons like this. You bring him up, he gets exposed, he loses his value. Plain and simple. And David Stern showed his hand today. He doesn't believe Drew Gilbert is a future star in this league. He believes Chet Williams is. He believes Carson Bench is a future star. Drew Gilbert, not so much. And that's why they dealt him. Now, I understand a lot of people are going to sit here and say, well, we're only going for it this year. Taylor is a rental, but there's nothing stopping from our New York Mets from extending him at the end of this season. He lost the qualifying offer once being traded. If he's that good, Stearns might bring him back. But one thing I could tell you right now, as my co-host Dan Bartels joins me, this is only going to go about 15 minutes, so we'll spend the last 7 minutes with him. This tells me there's other moves to be made. And a source that I spoke to right after this trade, because I said, what's going on? Said 100% the Mets are still in the bullpen market. Maybe not the higher end guys. This is the high end guy. But you might get a mid-tier type, better than Budo. We'll see what happens. But he did reiterate, the Mets have no way have signaled that they're not still in the center field market. There's still a chance Luis Robert gets moved or another player. They checked in on Brandon Lowe yesterday. We've seen that. They checked in on a lot of guys over the last couple of days. But I'm just glad this is not last year's deadline. This is not Brazaban. It's just not. I'm happy with the trade. At least I see a vision, regardless if we can't score right now, which is a whole nother issue, Dan. But I, for one, I am excited about this trade, not only because he's a great player, which he is. And I'm going to get to Dan's thoughts before we get to DeComo's thoughts. But it signals we are going for it. So, Dan, what are your thoughts?
Woo! How we doing, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. This Mets game, not worth watching. We got it on, but not really worth watching. Down 4-0 right now. So let's talk some of these trades, right? A trade deadline week, crazy stuff going on. Love the Tylor Rogers stuff, right? I was hearing you the whole time. Really great stuff. This is a good pitcher. This is a good pickup for the Mets. You're giving up a lot, clearly. Yeah, no one's going to sit here and deny that, right? But you have to think about the future. You have to think about, Blade Tidwell. Ray, you and I were speaking about this before. We spoke about this for months. This guy had a real tough chance, an outsider's chance to be a starting pitcher for the Mets. That's the reality. Nolan McLean passed him up. Jonah Tong passed him up. Brandon Sproat passed him up. Who was in the league first? Blade Tidwell. You saw it right from the beginning when he got rocked in that doubleheader against the Cardinals. You had a feeling. The stuff was there. It was energetic. He throws 99, but he's best suited as a closer. Drew Gilbert. Yeah, it's a tough one, right? We thought there was future with Drew Gilbert. You had the upside there, but clearly this is the upside that you want in return for a guy who, let's be honest, like great ground ball rate. This guy has a .80 whip this year. He leads all relievers in appearances. The splits are for real. This guy is legit. Tylor Rogers, love it. And he also pitched against the Mets this weekend. 2 scoreless appearances for those members. So, again, love it, Ray. I do. Jose Budo is what it is. You know, he was kind of trending down, but I can't complain at all about this move.
I'm not upset about Budo. Budo stinks. Sorry, guys. Don't shoot the messenger, but he walks everybody. Now, I want to get to DeComo's thoughts. Like I said, we're only keeping about 15 minutes around dinner time. Some people are like, oh, Ray, you're late. Well, I have a child at home, a pregnant wife. I got to be able to maneuver things. I just want to give you guys my opinion because, listen, I'm not a part of the corporate press. I'm a fan, just like you guys are. Yeah, we have some great guests on, but I want to show you what I'm thinking, and I want to cool the temperature a little bit because the amount of meltdown I'm seeing across X, I actually got to turn the app off. I'm like, I don't know. We could have traded for Bryce Harper. I wouldn't know because the amount of meltdown that's happening. But I want to get to Anthony DeComo's thoughts really quickly. So I think this is really good. Really good stuff here. Let me make it a little larger for the folks. Sorry, Dan.
All good.
Here we go. Here we go. Why were the Mets willing to give up 3 notable pieces for a rental reliever in Tylor Rogers? A few reasons. Canvas from talking from various folks around the league. Sorry, guys, I'm still sick, so bear with me. 1, Rogers is really, really good and gives the club a different look out of the bullpen. He throws from a super unique arm angle, which is an asset in October. He's also experienced, extremely durable, and unlike most Mets relievers, is stingy with walks, a championship caliber team, something that I just spoke about before we came in here.
Negative 64 degrees on that arm angle. Negative 64.
Crazy. 2, although the Mets gave up 3 players, none have a massive ceiling, which we just spoke about. The Giants would possibly stretch Budo out in the future, which might enhance the future value, but does have 5 years of control left, something we just spoke about. But his walk rate has held him back thus far in his career. And I agree. You know what I'm saying? If we're in the wild card or in the playoffs, you're bringing in Jose Budo, odds are he's going to walk somebody, not Rogers. Number 3, scouts see Gilbert as a toolsy player who could become a steady regular, like I just said, but not likely more than that. And there are durability concerns, considering he missed almost all of last year. Tidwell, likewise, must prove that he's a starter, which we spoke about, not a reliever. At this highest level, he hasn't done that yet. Number 4, and finally, none of this is to intimidate. The cost to acquire Rogers was cheap. It wasn't, but the price for sorry guys, I am like struggling here with my voice. The price for the high impact pitching is always steep and seems especially so this year. And don't forget, last year you had guys like Rogers with a 5.5 ERA going for top 100 prospects, none of which these guys are. At the end of the day, the Mets improved themselves without sacrificing the best of what their farm system has to offer. That's something that I keep saying. What you just said, we reiterated early on in the program. Jet Williams and Carson Bench are the future in this outfield, not Drew Gilbert. Drew Gilbert projects as a corner outfielder, not a center fielder. Also, the Mets have put Acuna a little bit in center field, as we recently saw. So that's my thoughts on it. He is not. I like this trade because of the signal. Now, if they don't do anything else, I will be upset. I think you'll be upset. I'll be upset, Dan. They got to show me more. Another bullpen piece and try to upgrade outfield. Try to upgrade the center field position. If you go get a Robert and it doesn't work out, you ship him out after this year. It's not going to cost you a Jet Williams or Carson Bench. That's how I look at that. And there might be another name out there that we're not talking about. We heard about Lowell. We heard about a couple other guys. Pittsburgh's having a fire sale right now. Where's Eugenio Suarez going to land? Not with us, but we'll see. And I want to reiterate one last thing. Iran might get traded. As long as it's not to the Phillies, that's all I care about. And final.
Quickly here from Heyman, he says Mets still endeavoring to upgrade in center field. Luis Robert Jr. and Cedric Mullins lead the way among their center field options. So,
and that's what I reported about 30 minutes ago from our source.
And that's as we speak. So that's really good stuff. Let's go. Trade deadline season, guys. We're on the clock.
Really quickly, want to get to one person in the chat because like I always say, if you're a member of this channel, you are guaranteed to get your comments right on our live stream. Buzz, what's up, bro? What's up, fellas? It's clear Jet will be the future center fielder. Him or Carson, I don't know what Carson Bench is going to be, but from what I'm hearing, they love him. He is almost untouchable at this point. But that's all we got for you guys today. Make sure you smash that like button. My voice continues to go. Dan, thanks so much for joining us late. Sure. Be sure to stick with us. Have your notifications on because we will bring you all the latest of Mets content. And I will say this, if the Mets make a crazy trade or even a trade later on today, be sure to look out for us. We'll come to you live. As always, let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets, guys.